keep an extra eye on it, and then if you have any questions or
Ladies and gents, welcome back to the APLPT Centurion here in Adelaide. We are at the SKYCITY Casino tonight. Our plan is to play down to a final table here in the $2,500 buy-in Centurion. This is scheduled as a 3-day event. 34 entries in today's tournament. Going to jump straight into the action here as Dean and Dino both picking up hands to get involved with. Typically, in late position versus big blind configurations like this, Ace-Jack is a hand that you can pretty comfortably peel on the button. In saying that, these big blind 3-bets tend to be pretty strong. Definitely makes sense to give your opponent a little bit of credit unless they prove that they're capable of getting out of line in spots like that. And Dean going to make good, tight, disciplined laydown there and avoid disaster. Saw the chip count flash across the screen for a moment there, and we see that Dean has had quite the tournament so far. Over 5 start stacks. Huge lead over the rest of the table so far, and maybe it's moves like that have got us there. You guys, I've not been keeping an eye on this event up until now. So everyone, let me know who you are cheering for, and let me know where Dean got 500,000 chips from. I know he paid for 100 of them. Straight back into the action here, opening up the 3s from the hijack. Craig going to pull the trigger on the rejam here. 16 big blind jam. Dean's going to make another correct laydown. Dale leading the table in pre-flop activity here so far. Him and Dean are representing Team WA. Shout out Team WA.
You're welcome. You owe me.
6, 7, 4. 6, 8, 4. Raise 8,000. 6, 3, 4. 6, 4, 4.
Heading to a flop here. David going to defend the Ace-7 against Rankin's open. He has opened with a mystery hand.
No.
Okay. Is that right?
Yeah, just.
Pretty good flop here for David. Top pair, he's got a not so impressive flush draw, but a flush draw nonetheless.
Bet 6,000.
Pair plus flush draw hands are generally speaking hands that make good check raises, but I'm not sure about this one. Don't have a lot to protect from. Do have one heart in case the heart comes in. When our opponent can represent all the stronger aces, makes sense to play this one a little bit slow.
It's off.
David does exactly that. Off to a turn. It is the Jack of Diamonds.
When I got that point out of the stuff on the table, then before I opened on million game with that 10%. He copped the bad place too.
He's like,
Don't check.
Overlay just 1 5. Not to the
Check, check. Onto the river here. We have a Queen of Diamonds. Does bring in the flush. David not going to value bet it. Going to check it once more.
Sit 5 check. Sit 1 check. 8 7 7 high five.
Did not catch Rankin's cards there. 7 of hearts. Flush is good. David going to rake in a pop. Get himself back above start stack. See on the leaderboard here, Dean out in a pretty commanding position at the moment. Average stack in the tournament at this point is just shy of 200,000.
Falls Jack of heart. Sit 8 falls. Sit 1 falls. Sit 2 falls. Sit 3 falls. Sit 4 falls. Sit 5 falls. 4,000. Sit 7 check. What's up?
Blind on blind action here. David going to like to just try and get himself a cheap flop. Dale will oblige him here.
Sit 5 check.
Jack high versus 8 high to the flop here. Dave, with the inferior hand, does have a straight draw. Five on the turn makes that straight draw feel a little less impressive.
Sit
However,
7 check.
a bet from either of these guys, I think we'll get it done. Off to the river. Still 8 high versus Jack high.
5 check. Sit 7
David
check.
not going to take a stab. And Dale
8 7.
quickly checking back.
Jack 6. Jack 5.
Nah, it was replaced by Jack 6.
Wonder how confident Dale was in that one. Given the immediate check back, really didn't consider bluffing. I might have thought he had enough showdown value to just check it back, or maybe just thought it wasn't worth a stab.
Yeah. Won the pot. Yeah, yeah. At some stage, a little bit of haste in some way. Sunny days for in normal. Yeah.
8,000. Take a 2 fold, 6 3 fold, 6 4 fold, 6 5 fold, 6 7 fold,
sorry, how much was the rest of it?
8,000.
Thank you.
6 8 fold.
Easy to raise and take it there.
Instantly down to 19. Took all of 3 hands.
Yeah.
There was 21 players, so instantly down to 19.
I thought we only went to 20.
There was flash like 21 for
I think that must have been a mistake because
Okay, got
we
it.
were on 34 when we left and we're on 18, and so we went to 36, which would make sense for us to go to 20. So I think that the
There's an
21
error.
was an error,
Fair
and
enough.
then we've just lost one player.
I
6, 3,
concede.
4.
The three we all in. We've got a table to both.
Was it?
6, 4,
Oh, okay.
4.
Well,
Versus in one hand.
there you go. Too bad you conceded. You already
Bullied.
lost the pot. You already lost the pot.
I got bullied into it.
Mate,
6,
bluff.
7, fold. 6, 8, call.
I know, we're down to 17. I'm back to conceding.
A little more blind on blind action here. Dean going to go ahead and limp. 7-5 suited. Craig with a very pretty hand going to go ahead and raise things up a little bit. Sizing was a little bit too small. You're not really going to generate any folds for this size. Jack-9 suited is a hand that doesn't mind playing a little bigger of a pot than 3 big blinds though. However, Dean is the one loving this flop. He's picked up the open-ender.
6, 2, bet 7,500.
Does have the backdoor spades to go along with it. No chance that he's going to be folding to this continuation bet. Question is, does he raise and look to play this fast? Does he just call, try and realise his equity, keep the pot small for the moment? And he is just going to call. 39,000 in the pot going to the turn.
6, 8, check.
Craig going to pick up a pair. Dean was actually a small favourite on the flop, but that is certainly not the story now.
6, 2, check. Check or no?
Check, check. 7 on the river. Dean improves, but not in the way that he was hoping.
6, 2, call.
Dean can go ahead and
Please.
put in the small
5,
blocker
7.
bet there. 10k, gets called, sees the bad news.
9, 1 here.
Small hit to Dean there, but still seeing it pretty on 500,000.
Nice.
Yeah. Exposed. No ace of crop. Small one. 54 fold. 6, 5 fold. 6, 7 raise 8,000. 6, 8 fold. 6, 2 fold. 6, 3 fold.
We're going to get one through this time. Big hand here for David.
6, 5 8, 8,000. 6, 7 fold. 6, 8 fold. 6, 2 fold. 6, 3 fold.
Not going to get any action until it gets to Mitchell. 7's in the big blind. This pot is just a little under 30 big blinds effective. A little bit deep to get it in pre-flop.
Check off.
Certainly shallow enough that there's plenty of ways that the money can get in by the river. Especially on a flop like this.
6, 4 check.
Those kings are in big trouble. Mitchell has flopped the set. 22k in the middle and only about 100k behind. Pretty scary looking flop too. Don't know that David would want to check this one back.
6, 5 bet. 11,000.
On that note, I don't think Mitch would want to give away any free turns. A lot of cards that could scare away your action. A lot of cards that could shrink the strength of your hand. 6, 5, a spade. I think a check raise here is often going to be the best way to get the money in.
26,000.
Back over to David. If he jams, he's going to be halfway out the door. If he calls, there's only a few turn cards that might save him. Spade isn't going to do him any favours. Give him some more outs, but it does mean he'd just be putting the rest of the money in.
Seat 5 orange.
Do see the jam, we see the snap.
7.
Dave was going to get the bad news here. %14 equity for David. Otherwise, he is going to be out of the Centurion. Wow, King of Diamonds on the turn. He finds one of his 2 outs. What a brutal hand. Really nasty beat there for Mitchell. Finds the set, gets it in as a big favourite for a big pot here. Over 200k in the middle there. Kings are going to improve. Big double for David.
Pick one, please. Take it. Seat 7, raise 8,000. Seat 8, raise 25,000.
Team WA on Team WA violence here. Dean going to bring it in for the 3-bet with the ace-3 suited.
Seat 4.
That was ace-7 suited. Very nice hand to open, but facing a 3-bet can get you into all sorts of trouble. See another ace hit the muck there.
Seat 7, fold.
Dean's going to get that one through.
Pick a line, please. Seat 8, fold. Seat 2, raise 8,000.
Couple of 9s here for Craig.
Seat 4, fold.
Ace-5 suited here for David. Don't want to be folding this one. The question is, does he want to play it as a call or a 3-bet?
Seat 5, call 8,000.
Is going to play the safe route for now. This will allow Dale to come in the big one though with the suited queen. Those 5 might not be live. His queen is, however. Pretty good flop for the 9 so far.
5 check. 6-7 check.
Over to Craig now. We don't love that there's an overcard out there. Putting in a bet here and denying some equity, I think, is a really good way to go. Nice sizing here as well from Craig.
Into 5 fold. That is
Look at
27,000.
this. Dale sensing some weakness, perhaps.
27.
Looks in the check raise here with not a whole lot at all. Just a few backdoors. 6 or a 5 will give him a straight draw. A diamond will give him a flush draw. Nothing all that impressive. Craig might have the kind of hand that this move will work against. Craig's price is pretty good. Almost 4 to 1. Just 17k to call, 65 in there. And it is going to work. Fancy play here from Dale pays off. He's going to pick up a pot that he really had no business winning. Tally him up to close to the 200k mark now. Looks like we are down to 16 players. I assume that means we'll have a table break and we'll be filling up in just a moment. So a little bit of a tight fold from Mitchell there. Decided to just pass up on the king-jack offsuit from the cutoff. In a late position like that, you can certainly play it, but it would have been raising into Dean's big blind. Dean with $500,000 in front of him. Gonna be a little bit intimidating.
C to 8 fold.
As is, we are going to have some blind versus blind action. Dale with the pocket fours. Dean the king-6 off in position. Dean is going to improve. 6 is good. And judging by the equities shown on screen here, it looks like there was maybe a 4 or 2 folded. Those equity is extremely low.
C to 8 fold.
Dean with the second pair, of course, going to call at least once.
Drop.
Yeah, I was gonna
9 of spades. Do you see Dean has the check mark? Both the black fours have been put into the muck already. Dale doesn't know it, but the only... It'd have to be a convincing story.
6-7, bet 40,000.
I'd say 40,000 is pretty convincing. Let's see what Dean thinks. Dale did raise pre-flop, and ace certainly makes sense. A blind versus blind. An ace is not the only thing that Dale can have here. Then giving this a good amount of thought. Blind versus blind pots can get pretty chaotic. A lot of possibilities here. Dale has invested a quarter of his remaining stack into this turn continuation bet. Certainly seems like a reasonable story.
C8 fold.
And he's going to get it through. Dale's turn to get one past Dean. Was that an ace-5 suited folded there from Dino? That's tight. Good timing. I mean, David's picked up the jacks here.
C5 raise 8,000. C6 fold. C7 fold. C8 fold.
Oh boy. The ace-5 gets out of the way. David picks up a monster. And the other David, who's just joined us, picked up an even bigger hand. And look at the stack. He's brought over 400,000 chips with him here to the feature table. He's immediately picked up kings versus jacks.
There's one raise 24,000.
I just felt there was a lot going on in the river.
24,000. This is a pretty small 3-bet from out of position. Typically want to be sizing this up a little bit. I mentioned before how strong big blind 3-bets can look. Small sizing might even look a little bit suspicious. But with jacks, what are you going to do?
Fold. C5 fold.
Yeah, off to a flop.
Heads up.
Queen 10 deuce. David White with his kings will be feeling reasonably good on this flop. Certainly a flop David could have connected with. Most of the hands that do connect will be inferior to a pair of kings. Just the one overcard. David Lloyd's jacks. And it being really the least scary of the three possibilities, I don't imagine he's going to be going anywhere for 20,000 more just yet.
C5 fold.
Off to the turn we go. This pot is starting to bloat. 94,000 in the middle. Repeat deuce. 2 flush draws on board now.
Did it work? Did it work?
C1 bet 60,000.
Nothing worse than doing that and it just doesn't crack. You just don't get it. You're like,
White going to fire once again. David going to be feeling pretty uncomfortable at this point. he calls here and gets away from it on the river, it will leave him with about a starting stack. David Lloyd really giving this some thought. Pretty brutal spot. Of course, always the possibility that we're up against a hand like Ace King and we are ahead.
Sit 5 fold.
He does make the fold. Going to preserve his stack. Still sitting comfortably on 40 big blinds after getting away from that one. David White is going to close the gap on the table chip leader. Both him and Dean sitting just shy of 500,000 chips now.
Sit 4. Raise 8,000.
Wow. Kings again.
Sit
Mitchell
5
this
fold.
time.
Sit 6 fold. Sit 7 fold.
Side of the hand just shy of 20 big blinds.
Sit 1 fold. Sit 2 fold.
No action this time, however. A little bit disappointing for Mitchell there.
Sit 5 fold. Sit 6 fold. Sit 7 fold.
See an ace-7 suited
Sit 8
hit the
fold.
muck there from David Lloyd from early position. This guy's playing relatively snug for the moment.
Sit 2 raise 8,000. Sit 3 fold.
Just the min raise gets it through. Hard to do much with the 7-2.
Sit 5 fold.
Rankin is back.
Sit 6 raise 8,000.
He is welcomed back by the ace-jack of spades here.
Sit 8 fold.
Sunny Lee Summer.
Sit 1 fold. Sit 2 fold.
why there's a delay. If it was within the first 2 minutes directly afterwards, he wouldn't have want to watch it. Delay, he's been able to recalibrate.
Yeah.
Same thing.
63 calls 8,000. 64
Watching
calls.
it again, I'm not going to change the results.
No, it's not. It's not. But you want that 2 minutes to recalibrate.
Heads up.
Dino going to make the call in the small blind.
Yeah.
Queen versus ace
That
jack
too.
going to the flop here.
But without them.
63 check.
Neither player going to connect.
66, bet 13,000.
Healthy size bet here, just a little over half pot with the ace jack. Dino going to give it up there.
One round big blind, please. Thank you. Six, 4, 6, 7, 4, 6, 8, 4, 6, 1, 4.
Suited king here for Craig. Rest of the table has been pretty snug, and when that's the case,
Play the river.
can open up the opportunity for us to get in there with a little bit more speculative hand.
63 calls.
Dino not going to make it so easy though.
4, 4.
Six two offsuit for David. The price is good, but the hand is most certainly not. Off to a flop here.
Heads up.
Nothing for either player.
Last two holes.
However, I imagine that the C-bet will probably get the job done if Craig decides to fire it.
I find it hard to win two hands in a row. That's what's going on at the moment. It's easy to say, but soon came along. I was sick feeling. Yeah, something's going to be like it's playing myself, but still, like, just sometimes.
I get it all back next time.
You know, sometimes you don't.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
At least it was me, I went not that last year. 11 cleans tonight. And there's 8 left. It's a lot more. So true. Actually, it doesn't matter. It would have been better. No.
6,
Anytime.
7, 4. 6, 8, 4.
I'll get the next one.
1 raise 8,000. 6, 2, 4. 6, 3, 4. 6, 4, 4. 6, 5, 4. 6, 6, 4.
Alright team, the payouts are out. We are going to be paying our top 5 finishers tonight. I say tonight, we may or may not get there. We are moving pretty quick, so we might not stop at the FT. Might try and push through a little further. But regardless, here in the Centurion at SKYCITY Casino in Adelaide, our 5th place finisher is going to be taking home a payout of $6,480. Pretty juicy for a min cash. All the way up to 1st place, our champion will be securing themselves $32,400.
Seat 5, raise 8,000. Seat 6, raise 26,000. Seat 7, fold.
Well, this is spicy. Rankin is not going to have any of this nonsense, it seems. David, the King 10, goes for the steal from the button, and the 4-3 offsuit's going to get in there with the 3-bet. He is going to take it down. Street poker on display here. Taylor joins us in the chat. Thank you for the kind words. It's good to be back, let me tell you. It's been a little while, guys. I missed you all.
Oh, it's cool. 1 folds. 2 folds. 3 folds. 4 folds. 1 folds. 6 raise 8k. 8's call.
Saw what Rankin could do with a 4 and a 3 offsuit from out of position. Let's see what he can do with a jack and a 10 suited in position. So he's probably going to get faced with a bit more resistance seeing the 2 holdings that he's up against. Pocket 8 for Dale and an ace jack.
7 raises
One of our
28K.
table chip leaders, Dean.
28's call.
Do see the 3-bet up to 28,000. Interesting spot here for Dean. A lot of situations where ace jack does not make a great 4-betting hand. There's a cold 4 against a button open and a small blind 3-bet when you know both players are aggressive.
It's a point high flop, point 10, right?
Yeah.
This is one of the spots where you can certainly get away with it. Bang, maximum pressure.
6 folds.
Not just the cold 4, but the cold 4-bet all in. See the quick fold from the jack 10 suited. It's a hand that's much prettier when there isn't 2 people battling in the hand with you, and one of them hasn't just piled it in for 40 big blinds. Dale now with the 8s.
7 folds.
You'll have a good idea that Dean's capable of showing up here without an absolute premium, but also a good chance that you're going to run into it. Dean doesn't have to have the nuts, but he's probably not doing
Hey, it's on
this
stream, we can't keep the people at home bored.
without a good reason.
An entertainment product.
Very
after
nice
all.
pick up on that
Exactly.
spot
How are
there
we
from
gonna get
Dean.
people
He's
into
going to pick up
poker
that
if we-
pot.
You know? We don't keep them entertained. Nice. Fours and 5s went through my head. But I also do want a lot of strong 8-6s as well. Which I think you face more, especially with the double flush. Yeah. Nice.
4 call. 3 folds.
I've already got the check mark because both pairs are down. Oh, right? Yeah. Otherwise I don't have the check mark yet.
4 raises 8.
5 folds, 6 folds, 7 folds. 8 folds.
Had a good pair this then.
8 gates cool. 3 folds.
You okay? Leverage.
Folds. Five raises 8k. 8 skull. 6 folds, 7 folds.
King Jack offsuit for David. This time he's going to make it 8,000.
8 raises 25k.
Dean also with the King Jack offsuit. And he's going to continue to wield that chip stack as a weapon. 3-bet to 25,000.
25k score.
Mediocre hand, not so great position against the chip leader. Not much that you can do with this one. Just going to have to give it up. Dean's going to pick up another pot. David White has been shifted to the other table to balance, so Dean once again is a pretty commanding chip captain.
Would have had none of it.
Five is 8k.
Ace Jack for David this time. Slight upgrade.
6 folds.
Justus Ferankin is going to put those away.
2
Seems
folds.
he has to have at least a 4 in his hand to get involved. Round to Dino.
3 calls 8k.
He's going to try and take a look at this flop with the pocket 3s. Off to the flop we go.
Can I grab some change? Some ones as well. Thanks. Something that. Check our bets. Three bets, 10k.
Interesting play here from Dino. Sees a pretty good flop for the 3s, and he's going to go ahead and donk lead on the flop. David with the ace jack, not going to give it up just yet. Queen of spades.
3 checks.
Problem with taking this line from Dino is once you get called, you have no idea where you're at. You've bloated the pot, and you've kind of telegraphed the strength of your hand to a weak to medium strength hand at best. David decides to put the pressure on. I'd say there's a pretty good chance he takes this pot down. With the ace jack, you may think he has a decent amount of showdown value, and he might just elect to check this one down.
Five is 26k.
Looks like he's going to go for the aggressive route. And the pressure is going to work. The small blind donk lead line can get you into a lot of trouble. put you in a lot of difficult spots. So David doing a great job of capitalizing on the opportunity there.
Big blind. Six folds, seven folds. That raises 8k.
Table Captain Dean back at it with the King 7 suited. I don't think he's going to get away with it this time.
He calls 8k.
Dino going to get fancy. Just going to go ahead and throw in the call with the aces. Try and set the trap. You're in the pot with an aggressive chip leader that's been demonstrating that he's going to use that stack. This is the kind of time where plays like this can work. You've got to know that there's always a risk of it backfiring. 3 ways to a flop. And speak of the devil,
5 checks.
Dino has allowed David to come in for cheap in the big blind and catch trip queens. Checks around 30,000 in the middle. David going to check once more, really setting the trap here.
That's 15.
Dean's going to take the bait. And not just once, he's been trapped twice in the same hand by 2 separate people.
Three calls, 15.
Dino makes the call. This might be the moment for David to string the trap. At this point, you know one of them's got to have something. Dino can't really call as a bluff. Sam in the Facebook chat asking if Dean's lost a hand to this point. He lost that one before against Dale, but Dale had to get a bluff through in order to do it. This is just going to make hand number 2. And wow, we see quick fold. The aces are going to get away from it. Dino playing that one really safe. He's going to lose the minimum. However, just putting that 3-bet in pre-flop, playing him straight forward, and he definitely would have been winning that pot. Prime example of the risk we take when we decide to take these slow plays with aces. There's a couple of risky plays that Dino's taken in a row. They're both backfired on him now.
Small blind. Seven folds, 8 folds. Was it 8? 2 raises 8k. 3 folds. 4 folds.
Craig getting a little bit speculative here with a 10-5 suited.
8.
Don't know that he quite has the stack to be making these plays from positions as early as the hijack at this point.
6 ounces all in.
Rankin is going to punish him for it. He was forced to make the fold.
How you doing?
folds. 2 folds. 3 folds. 4 folds. 1 folds. 6 calls,
2
4K.
Rankin, 8, 6 suited here.
Any more? 7 checks.
So just going to allow the cheap flop here with the 7-4. And the 7-4 is going to find a way to take the lead here.
6 bets, 6K. 7 calls, 6K.
Small bet and a call. And this is the spectator's turn card, that's for sure. Rankin's going to pick up a diamond draw now. He's going to give him the confidence to continue betting.
16K.
Dale, however, has gone from a weak showdown value hand to an absolute monster with 3 of a kind on the turn here. He does not have a kicker whatsoever, but in wide range confrontations like this blind versus blind battle, the kicker is not that significant, and it's meaningless now that the 9 double pairs this board. I won't love to see that card. You would expect, probably most likely if Rankin was holding a 9, he might check the turn, take the pot control route.
Do not like the river and call.
Big bet, and we see Dale with the snap call. And he is going to take that one down. Sizable bet from Rankin. Solid attempt. Actually can get behind his bet on the river there. I mean, he's got pretty good combo to go for it with just 8 high.
Oh, you brought one this time.
I told you, I meant to yesterday. First thing I did was put in my pocket today.
Nice. What was the score on the footy?
Damo joined us in the Facebook chat now as well. We've got a full Team WA meeting going on. A reunion of sorts. Just about got the whole squad here. David's picked up the King Jack a handful of times so far on this feature table already. This time it is the suited variety.
5 raises 8K. 6 folds. 8 score.
Dale also with the King Jack.
Raises 28K.
David's last King Jack, he was also up against a King Jack from Dean. Faced a 3-bet and had to fold. This time, he has the suited hand and he's in position. So this is a spot where we can take a flop. You have to be a little bit cautious and a little bit respectful of the 3-betting range, but King Jack suited is a very nice hand when you get to play in position. David is going to make the tight fold here. Dale going to get away with another one. Some solid momentum here from Dale.
Bonds are up 2.5. What's call? 3 folds. Four folds.
Blinds have just ticked up. We are now playing 2,500 to 5,000 with a 5,000 big blind ante. 60-minute levels here in the Centurion. Plenty of opportunity for these guys to play their best poker. Lots of time for them to make all the moves.
10 to call.
Be patient when they need to. Get fancy when the opportunities present themselves.
I've been waiting.
Blind
You've been waiting?
increase. Put a little bit of pressure on our 3 shorter stacks at the moment.
I'm interested.
I wonder if you guys had the best hand.
What's that?
I wonder if one of you guys had the best hand.
5 folds.
Not me.
7 folds. 8 raises 10k. 10 to call.
Very nice hand here for Dean on the button. 7-6 suited here for Craig.
2 folds.
It's a hand that you love to see a flop with when you've got a few chips behind. Craig, unfortunately, is playing the kind of stack where you mostly want to be jamming over these opens. A lot of room to call and speculate, especially not from out of position. Dino getting a very good price, however, is going to take a flop here.
8 checks.
And that flop is all Dino. He's caught the middle pair, he's caught the open ender. Dean elects to just
That's
check it
15K.
back with his ace high.
15 to call. 8 calls 15.
Quick call from Dean. Off to the river. King of diamonds.
15k. 15 to call. 8 calls. Cards. 15.
Dino goes for the small milky bet and it works a treat. Dean going to pay that one off with just the ace high.
The old 50 big blind reshift. Didn't know you had it in you. That's a lie.
That's a lie.
That's a lie. I'm not even going to bother with that charade.
4 folds. Right. 5 folds. 6 folds. 7 folds.
When Dale asked me what I had, I just
8
said
raises
leverage.
10k. 10 to call. 2 folds.
Dean straight back into the mix here. Jack 10 suited this time. Doesn't look like he's going to get any resistance.
Folds. 7 folds. 8 folds. 2 folds. 3 folds. 5 to call. 4 folds.
Went for one there. David just going to get a nice easy walk.
2 folds. 3 folds.
Dino, disciplined fold from the cutoff there with the Queen 10. Mitchell with the
Oh, nice,
sevens. 11 bigs on the button. He is going to go ahead and pile it in there. Great play.
Black folds. 6 folds.
Good hand. We both had good hands.
Folds. Two raises 10k.
Big hand here for Craig now.
3 folds.
Got the aces in early position.
4 folds. 5
See a
folds.
7-6 suit and hit the mark. Round to Dale, 7-6 offsuit.
10 to call. 7 calls 10.
Starting the hand with 50 big blinds. Probably feeling comfortable enough to speculate a little bit. Could get him into trouble here though.
7 checks.
We're off to a flop. We just need to give these graphics a second. And there we go. Looks like the kind of flop where Dale's going to lose no more money. Nice check here from Craig.
7 checks.
Very clean board, very safe.
So that's 15k.
Queen on the turn. Because he has to start betting at some point. I don't think there was any way he was going to make any more on that one.
Two raises 10k. 3 folds. 4 folds.
Back-to-back monsters here. Craig with the ace-king now under the gun.
5 folds. 6 folds. 7 folds.
Round to Dean now.
10K.
Got a customer once again. King 2 suited. Dean going to go ahead and take a flop.
No checks.
Neither player going to connect on this one. Craig's still in pretty good shape, but
2 checks.
he's not going to know just how good of a shape he is in.
No checks.
Queen of spades on the turn. Ace king a little bit more likely to be good once that queen repeats. We see it check through once more.
No checks. Shows ace king.
5 of clubs. Dean just going to try and show down his king high. See it is no good. Craig will pick up a small pot with his ace king.
Sneaky, sneaky Dino.
Didn't work out, but
It didn't. It didn't.
eh?
It did not.
5 folds. 6 raises 10k. 7 folds.
I gotta change it up a bit.
Yeah, man. No. I'm not saying anything bad about it. I'm just
Ranking
saying
going to
sneaky.
speculate here with the Queen
You
7
didn't even
suited, but
flop
Craig with the hat trick here. 3 premiums back to back to back. This time the Queens. How is he going to play it? 20 bigs effective. Raising less than all in is going to look
So
pretty
that's all in.
suspicious. I really like this jam here.
6 folds.
Button's good.
Might look like this was going to scare your opponent off too often, but this is the best way to get the money in now before the board can get scary.
Big blind.
Get your hand out of that position.
Mate, like you said, sometimes you just gotta fire once at it, you know?
No, you're right. I did say that. I did say that.
I gave it up very quickly, okay? I got shown.
As did I.
Yeah, you ran into ace high. I ran into trips and two-pair.
Both the nuts.
4 folds. Five folds.
Just had 5s and ace 6 one time, man.
Yeah.
Six raises 14k.
You're going to get amongst it once again. Deuces this time.
Folds. 8 folds.
Dale.
14,
The pass
4.
on the King Queen. Round to the blinds now. Can't quite call this 4 in a row, but I mean,
2 folds.
as far as speculative hands go, Jack 10 suit is pretty good, but he is just going to pass it. I'd say this one is probably playable enough that even from the small blind we might be able to call. Craig just going to play it safe there, pass this one up.
One where St Kilda just came and stole
You got to get him so that you got to put him in there just so that when St Kilda take TDK,
exactly.
someone's got some form.
You just come in there.
Yeah.
No, I don't mind. Just needs some prolonged exposure to that.
Not getting constantly injured.
Yeah, he's been unlucky. I don't know if TDK's right anyway.
Okay. Well, I'd have Pitman over Red Stanley any day.
Oh, yes. And I'd happily sell TDK for the 12 mil.
I'm with you, yeah. Use that money to keep wanging on your lure.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a fucking player, hey.
2 raises
And
10k.
go and get other players that you need. Get some midfielders. Not a ruckman. But what's
Craig
on
going to go for the
the
steal here with the King 3 suited.
Oh, you can change for this one.
Queen 2 suited for Mitchell.
Loose.
He's 31.
That's one.
They want to prepare a bit.
For 5k more, he is going to take a flop.
I had 66 to start.
Mitchell's going to be pretty happy with this flop. If he faces a C-bet, he should probably be putting the lot in, though. Tough to do for your tournament life. When you peel this hand pre-flop, this is the kind of flop that you're looking for.
9k. No, it's cool.
Scroll that from Craig, just trying to take this thing down right now.
All in. 4 analysis all in.
Great move here from Mitchell. We'll take that one down. Picks up a much needed pot. Adds just about 50% to his stack on that hand. Very nice little pickup.
If Marshall was 28, they wouldn't consider it. Being 31. I hope you're right.
It is St Kilda.
Blinds.
More dollars than cents at the moment for St Kilda.
Yeah, I get that you've got to use it, but
Small blind.
I'm not saying anything else.
No. No,
they're walking into a trap. Connie was a recipient of some weaker teams at the start of the season. Carlton was still in form, and he's just not. I don't think he's not that guy.
He raises 10k. 4 faults. That's cool.
Suited Jack on the button for Dino. He's going to go for the steal, and he's going to succeed.
Someone that can pull their own weight
Up a small
and
pop
then
there.
get a good midfield engine room and a couple of key positions.
Stacks have evened out a little bit now. Mitchell currently the only player below the 20 big blind mark.
They want to run with Flaming and Miller off the halfback, which is fine, and they should, because he's got silky ball use. But they need midfielders, because Jack Steele's probably done.
Small blind.
What's his face? Nathan Jones, not Nathan Jones. Other Jones. He's done. He was done 5 years ago.
Try just fills the hole.
Yeah, I mean, he's okay for getting the ball, but he's not going to damage her too much.
8 faults. 2 faults.
And the Trey's old. He's old too, yeah.
4 faults.
Yep. But I mean, it's all well and good to have plans of trying to get somebody. Nobody wants
To the blinds, King 9 offsuit, certainly playable from the small
blind.
blind.
You guys getting Parker was good. I thought he was like really good. He's a good
David
leader.
going
He
to
is, but he's 4 years past his best.
play the safe option here, limp in,
It's a lot
take
better
a
than
flop.
like you need someone in there to show them
He
what
is
to do.
going to
and
catch a
Shields
9.
is
It
way
is
too
no
old
good,
to
however.
get back. At least Parker can still go
He's
with
going to
it.
take the lead here. Top pair.
Jack Darling's
3
been
spades
better
on
than I
board
thought
and
he
none
was gonna be.
in either player's
Caleb Daniels
hand.
actually
Might
been
slow the
worse
action
than
down a little bit.
Yeah, I thought Jack Darling was going to be the worst of those
Start
three.
with a stab here of 10,000.
I thought Parker was going to be the best, but I didn't think Daniel was going to be
I
the
think Daniel's been better than Darling in terms of just pure output,
Yeah.
but not to
Clubs.
what the expectation was. That's
Doesn't
the
change
big
a
problem,
thing.
the disconnect between. We all knew Darling was going to be not at his best. He's old and whatever, but Caleb Daniel's meant to be good,
5 checks.
and he hasn't been what we
Yeah,
wanted.
some of his disposals have been actually poor.
6 checks.
I think single-handedly, like last week, he cost us 3 goals with turnovers in a quarter and a half or something.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not all his fault.
No, of course.
He's put into a system that
Off checks.
doesn't work. That it's not as good.
David going to check it a second time here.
So bad.
Rankin's probably got to be pretty comfortable in his pair of queens at this point. Looks like
20.
he's comfortable enough to try and get a little bit of value out of it as well.
They just don't. Like,
Pretty tough spot here. Certainly possible that you're up against a single spade type of hand that's missed and now turning itself into a bluff here. Plenty of ways this 9 can be ahead. Plenty of ways the 9 can be behind. Blind versus blind play is so difficult because of situations exactly like this.
5 calls, 20k. Showed up. Queens.
David is going to pay off the value bet here. Pair of 9s, no good.
There's a yellow chip stuck underneath the cushion.
that was mine.
Big blind. Folds. 2 folds. 3 folds. Four folds. 5 folds. 6 folds.
Now, 2 of 4.
Nah, 2 or 4. I
2 or
walked
Oh.
David before.
2 of 4.
Yeah,
Percentage is dropping.
you're slipping.
Man. As soon as he became my small blind, that was not letting me have 3 blinds. He gave you 50% of the walk.
Gave you
you had.
one. I gave you one. Come on, man. There's more in there.
All right, gentlemen's agreement, 1 orbit of walks.
And we just watch the hands up there.
And cringe.
No look walks, everyone.
2 folds. 3 folds. 4 folds. 6
Didn't we
bets,
just agree on a
10k.
table orbit of walks?
Yeah, it was unanimous at the time.
It's 10 to call.
Oath breaker.
So it costs 10k.
Cool.
8 costs 10k.
3 ways to a flop here. He goes for the steal. Unfortunately, is not able to get it through.
So it checks,
Flop
8 checks.
is all Dale. 2 clubs on board, not too significant for anyone's actual hand. Couple of backdoors. Rankin is the aggressor, but he has completely whiffed this flop. It's also a flop that's not that hard for the opponents to connect with once you get called twice, but
17
the aggressor, you are repping the strongest aces. Saying that, we need to tighten up a little bit when betting into 2 people, and 9-7 suited is
17k. Folds.
not going to be one of our better hands. Dale sticks around for the C bet.
They're a victim of the media. The media hyped them up to be this team that they're just not. And now,
Club on the turn. Maybe those clubs aren't so meaningless after
got it
all.
wrong, not Carlson.
Check, check.
I don't know
Jack
what
on
was
the
it
river.
last season or the season before that led them to believe they were going to be premiership
Probably
teams.
pretty keen to go for some value now that he's improved to 2 pair. The only way for him to win more chips on this hand would be to try and induce a bluff.
Horrible
They were in,
times.
they were in
7
second
bets
at round
22k.
14.
6
And
folds.
then
Yeah,
did they
and a
make
quick
the
fold.
Do you know first week
Dale's
of
going to
fold?
take another pot down.
What did they think was going to happen? I remember the Sam Edmonds call last year. It was like, if anybody who's worked their soul, if you're not thinking Carlton's a flag favourite at this point, and you don't know anything about football, and then they go and just finish 8th on percentage, and idiot. Yeah, same thing.
North Melbourne and it's like a kick on.
Yeah, it's fine to say that now, but tell me that's 7 years ago, and I'll say it's bullshit.
Wow, Jack 10 suited hitting the mark. That is very snug.
And we're still, I mean, we're
Under the gun,
so it's been a long way. We're on the road.
you have to pry those out of my hands. Round to David. See, another suited connector folded before we get here. Ace Queen's certainly going to be played.
6 folds. 7 folds. 8 folds.
9-6 offsuit for Craig. Some circumstances you might want to defend this, but off 20 bigs against a hijack open, might be better to let this one go.
2 checks.
That'll teach me, however. Craig going to catch the 6 on the flop. We'll put him into the lead.
What are you doing? Still in the
1
big
bet
boys?
18k. 18
How you going?
David whiffs the flop, but is not going to shy away from the C bet.
His family just got there over the last couple of days, so now he's spending some time playing.
Middle pair here. It flopped far too well to be folding to the C bet.
No, it
And is very vulnerable going forward, however.
yeah.
Too strong to check fold. Too vulnerable to really like check calling, and not strong enough to check raise. This is the challenge of playing this hand pre-flop in the first place. We'll see how Craig navigates it now that he's here. He is going to lay it down. David's going to really get away with one here. Guys, I'm seeing a lot of you watching, but I'm not seeing a whole lot of likes on the video, and I'm not seeing as many comments as I would like to see either. Let me know who you're cheering for.
7 folds.
Let these guys know you're supporting.
8 folds.
If you're watching from a long way away, let me know that as well. It was exciting. We've got people tuning in internationally to enjoy the Australian Poker League.
2 ounces all in.
Unfortunate timing for Craig here. He knows his customer here. Rankin has been extremely active with his opens. A lot of them are in pretty speculative hands. Dean takes the opportunity to pounce on what is a very wide opening range. Takes the rejam for 17 bigs with the pair.
87
Rankin just going to get a count.
6 calls.
And he will quickly call. He does have the sexy boys. He is in front. Flop is clean. Turn is clean. River is clean. GG to Craig. Unfortunate series of events to see him hitting the rail there, but that will bring us down to 13 players. This is one of the benefits of playing the aggressive, loose style that Rankin has been playing. When we do pick up a hand, it doesn't take quite as much for us to get paid on it.
Oh, I've been looking some small blinds.
Brisbane kicked two goals, it's 3 goals to blow out now.
Got 4 half time.
Yeah,
Oh, geez.
72 to 42 now.
C5 fold. C6 fold. C7 fold. C8 fold. Cheers, mate. You want to
Whole lot of not much this hand. Dino is going to try and see a cheap flop with the Queen 2 here though. Completes the small blind. Mitchell going to check back the Jack 6 and we are off to a flop here.
What time we close that? So recheck.
2 10s and a 6. We'll see Mitchell take the lead here. Bet of 1 big blind and it looks like it's going to do the trick.
Learned my lesson last time. I thought I'll have another bet at this one.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We're all friends with Trav. And
In my head, I was like, oh no, here we go again. Paired ball,
Illa,
having a bet, you probably got
some
it.
other people created a GTO app. The one that me and Trav were giving away for a while when we were both streaming. You might remember it. C6 fold. C7 raise 10,000. C8 fold. C3 fold. Or is it got the stakes? Playing with Trav, playing on Trav's table. Gets over there, gets Trav on his table.
Nice easy one for Dale here. Raise and take it. Ashley in the Facebook chat joining us from Tassie.
Oh, hang on. 2 cards came
It's
out.
a little while away. Who's further? Let me know, guys. Thanks for joining us, Ashley.
Didn't even look.
They were my cards in.
Yeah, they were. One was.
Yeah, I don't know which one. Though. Probably Dave.
Probably. So you would have run into another set. If it wasn't for a misdeal, you would have busted this end. You should be very grateful.
Oh, I'm so grateful.
Over in the Twitch chat, we've got Mitchell's brother watching from Melbourne.
6-7 fold.
Says terrible luck with that set earlier. Yeah, that one was pretty brutal. Got it in with the 7s against the kings. The 8-7-4 flop and the king right there on the turn after the money had already gone in. Very nasty beat. He's been pretty short since then, but he's not given up. He's taken a couple of good moves, a couple of good spots, and he's keeping himself alive. And Taylor also in the Twitch chat, somehow cheering for me. Says, see you in the Jackstar tomorrow. Oh boy, I wish. I'm devastated that I'm going to be missing a Jackstar. On that note, if you guys are in Adelaide or anywhere near Adelaide, get yourselves to the SkyCITY Casino tomorrow and get yourselves in that Jackstar.
Thanks, mate.
CA fold. C3 fold. C4 fold.
Eight, 6 suited here for David.
C5 raise 10,000.
30 bigs effective. Definitely deep enough to go for some steals with a hand as nice as this.
7 cool.
Dale with a weak offsuit ace, but he is in the big blind getting a discount. These guys are off to a flop here. Equity's running pretty close.
C7 chip.
Is going to very much give Dale the advantage. However, David has picked up a gut shot here. Does have backdoor clubs to go along with it.
C5, that's 13,000.
Healthy size C-bet here, around half pot.
C7 cool.
Dale, no reason to do anything other than just call. We are off to the turn here. David looking for a 9 or looking for a club. That's a very interesting turn card. Dale now improves to trips. His kicker does not play. Again, when we've got these wide range configurations, that kicker becomes less important. I should be feeling pretty good about his trip aces right about now, but David has a straight draw plus flush draw. He decides he is not going to double barrel. Fortunately for him, he has slowed it down. C-bet on the turn was not going to get it through. River is clean for Dale. He's now just deciding what the best way to try and squeeze more chips out of this pot is. Does he go for value himself, or does he try and leave some room for his opponent to bluff?
C7 bet 45,000.
Decides going to go ahead and bet his own hand. Nice big size as well, going pretty polarized here, trying to get hero called. Looking to get called by something like a 10, maybe a 7, maybe even a pocket pair. Unfortunately for Dale, David has 8 high. He cannot even beat the bluff. I wonder if this is a bit of Hollywood or if he's maybe thinking about making a move here. A raise on the river here would be pretty impressive. It'd look very strong. That would be one of the situations where that lack of kicker that Dale has would be a consideration. There will be no nonsense on this particular hand. Dale just going to take that one down, get himself over the 300,000 chip mark now. A lot of momentum here for Dale. Sexy Boy is making another appearance here.
Seat 3 rates 15,000. Seat 4 fold.
Raised to 15,000 here from Dino.
Seat 7 cool. Seat 8 fold.
Eight, 6, 4, couple of spades, no help to Dale's ace queen suited. He's done himself a favour by not putting in the 3-bet here.
Seat 7 fold.
And a snap fold. Dale losing the absolute minimum on this hand. Less than minimum, to be honest. So I wonder if he's picked up on something here.
Big blankets.
One lucky over in the Twitch chat, on the YouTube chat, rather. Thank you for the kind words. Playing in the Sunday 350. That monster stack, I assume you mean. What a blast of an event that one is. Or he says if he was a betting man, he'd have his money on Dale Marsland for the win. Be a reasonable bet.
Yeah, 24.
If I was a betting man myself, I'd probably bet that there's not a whole lot of betting men
Yeah, I'll just bet.
amongst the players and viewers today.
Just 1 second. Guys, can you all take your cards
D
off
Money
the
over on
scanners?
Facebook says you'll be there tomorrow for the Jackstar, I hope. Smart man.
Take your
Landing
card
in the
off the scanner
Facebook
for
chat
me.
cheering
Take your
for
cards off.
Dean.
Everyone take them off. Okay. Alright, you can pop back up. You're good. And you fold. Okay. 4 fold. Seat 5 fold. Seat 6 raise 12,000.
Looks like our graphics are fixed. 9-8 suited here for Rankin. Going to go ahead and open. Dale with a mystery hand and a decision.
Seat 7 raise 40,000. Seat 8 fold.
This decision is to up it to 40k. Dino with another big hand here. We've seen him play his aces a little bit creatively earlier. Let's see if he plays the king straightforward and just puts in the 4-bet jam. Or if he decides to play this one a little bit fancy as well. I think doing anything other than jam here just looks very suspicious.
Seat 6 fold.
What's the total, please?
In my opinion, the best way here to get action is actually just to jam. Hope that you've run into a really strong hand.
141.
Dale here getting 2-1. Yeah, we've not quite caught his hole cards just yet. assume if his hand was some kind of bluff, he probably would be pretty quickly letting them go. The fact that those cards are still in front of says to me that there's probably something decent that he's holding.
Will you show me if I fold my card? I'm going to see anyway.
I'm going to see it anyway.
Yeah, well, I like to see quicker. Will you show me straight away?
You call it, you can see it really quick.
Dale does make the fold. Dino going to pick up a nice pot there. Up to 200k now. Mitchell, once again, just the only player below 20 big blinds. He's not that far short of it. He's not been dealt a whole lot of opportunities. The ones that he's had, he's made the most of.
Small blind for me. Yeah. C5 raise 10,000. C6 fold. C7 fold. C8 fold. C3 fold.
For a split second, I feel like squeezing, and then when I was in big blind,
C4 fold.
and then no, because even
Nice easy raise and take it there from David.
I had a feeling it was probably my first one.
These cards are terrible.
And RFIDs.
Yeah, they're getting sticky again. C6 fold. C7 raise 10k. C8 fold. I don't know if it's like too
Going to
specific.
get amongst it here with the pair of sixes.
C3 fold. C4 fold.
Round two, David in the big blind. See the red king 5 off folded in the small. Is the other red king 5 off going to call in the big?
C5 fold. Yeah, maybe.
Right, Dale going to get this one through. Nice and easy.
Yeah. Might be good. Yeah.
Really wanted to get involved in it.
Even just like a microfiber like cloth.
It
So,
really looked
I
like
don't know if they're like stuff on the
I
cards.
think of that many little pairs of it.
C7 fold.
It is.
C8 fold.
Sounds a bit late. I guess the stat rises. You're going to get committed there or
C3
not.
fold.
Don't call pre-flop.
Yeah, well,
What's he hoping for there?
Give him a day or two before we tell him that. Though.
Yeah.
Yeah, shoot him a message. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, I'll tell him. Put a message on the stream.
I'm sure Corey, who's commentating at the moment, will be saying,
Is that wrong, mate?
no, not at all.
Yeah.
No, you're not wrong.
Yeah. I say it only with constructive criticism.
What the hell are you doing?
All good intentions.
Rankin with the 3-2 has somehow managed to flop 2 pair. He is going to slow play it. Dangerous on a flop like this. Maybe the only way to get paid.
6 bet 10,000.
You flop second pair on a jack high. That's lovely. That's
Well, he decided to get it in this one.
Raymond joins us in the Facebook chat, sharing for Lloyd. Thanks for joining us, Raymond.
He had his time.
I'm into a 6-17.
And I think say flop returns a open end trade plus draw.
17 should be like sixes.
If he has 13, he's got to get
Like an order, I didn't think he did, but he didn't say bye. He was just chatting. What are you doing?
I'm going to head.
You gonna go?
Sure, mate.
Okay.
Catch a spade next time, Dale.
Yeah, I know. Would have been good.
C8 fold. C3 fold. C4 fold. C5 fold. C6 call. C7 check.
All blind on blind action here. Dale just deciding to check back the A7 offsuit here.
C6 check.
5-3 all spades. Dale won't mind that flop one bit. Only going to take a better 5,000 to get the job done though. Dean still pretty comfortably out in ahead on the leaderboard. He peaked at around 550, so he slipped a little bit from there, but still very comfortable.
C3 fold. C4 fold. C5 raise 10,000. C6 fold. C7 fold. C8 fold.
Change please.
Just orange.
No, I need
Blind. C4 fold. C5 fold. C6 raise 10,000. C7 fold. C8 fold.
Rankin continues the loose aggressive style here, opening up the King 8 offsuit in the cut off. Dino with the big line, going to defend the Ace-5.
C3 check.
Dino was ahead to start the hand. He's going to be a little bit further ahead on this flop once he pairs his 5.
15.
He's going to have to call a continuation bet to proceed in this hand, though. Say with the middle pair, ace kicker. Should be comfortable enough to do so, and he does.
C3 check.
7 of spades.
Check.
Does improve rank into a straight draw. 9 is the wrong side.
C6 check.
See a quick give up. Dino going to take that one down with a pair of 5s.
C5 fold. C6 fold. C7 fold. C8 fold. C3 call.
Oh boy. This is not how I would have expected this one to go. Dino just decides to call the ace-jack suited, blind versus blind. It's just 15 bigs effective. This could have easily just been a jam. The jam might have even got called by the queen-jack suited.
C4 bets 5,000.
As played, Mitchell has been allowed to see the free flop. He has caught the top pair. He was dominated. And not just once, but he's caught his live card twice now on the turn. Trips with a solid kicker. Dino not drawing completely dead. He is going to have to catch a king to win this hand.
C4 bets 10,000.
Small bet from Mitchell, trying to get all the value he can. Every chip he can accumulate is very meaningful at this point. Starting this hand pretty short. Yeah, we've not seen Mitchell with a lot of opportunities, at least not since I joined. He does seem to be really making the most of the ones he's getting, and he's going to continue extracting value here with his trip queens. Just has to fade a king, and he doesn't. In fact, he finds the perfect river. Dino's going to be loving that ace. Mitchell might have found the card that he can get paid on. That's just how much does he go for? Can he go for the lot?
Yeah. Flush draw, gut shot.
I'm hoping you might have been checking that like Jack, was that me?
C4 bets 23,000.
Oh, there could have been some ugly rivers there.
Bet of half pot from Mitchell, and he gets the quick call. Not quite a double up, but not that far from it. D-Money over in Facebook chat asking if there's any updates on the outer table stacks. Unfortunately, I'm not on site, so I don't actually have access to that information, and I'm not able to poke my head around the corner and check. But we've got to be coming up on a break pretty shortly. In fact, probably in the next 10 to 15 minutes, I would say. And I do believe the plan at the break is to switch the feature table with the secondary table. So once these guys come back from break, we should know exactly what's going on over on the other table.
C7 fold. C8 fold. C3 raise 12,000. C4 fold.
Small pair on the button here for Dino.
5 fold.
Just pieces of cheese for everyone else. He's going to take that one down.
C7 fold. C8 fold. C3 fold. C4 raise 10,000. Cool.
115 starting. 145.
David's been pretty snug up to this point. He's going to speculate a little bit here with the 8-5 suited. He's picked a most inopportune time here up against Mitchell's 10s. Rankin going to call as well. The only player in the blinds that does have one live card in that king, and he is going to find it as well. Unfortunate flop for the 10s of Mitchell. Just as he was starting to pick up some momentum.
C5 check. C6 check.
Only good news for Mitchell here is that that flop is going to be a pretty obvious one that you are behind on. Don't need to go risking a whole lot of chips. David actually going to pick up a flush draw here. Mitchell drawing stone dead. The only 10 left in the deck is the 10 of clubs, which would improve David to the flush.
C5 bets 15,000. C6 cool.
David going to take the aggressive approach here with his flush draw. Rankin with the second pair. Will make the call, and we're off to a river. David looking for a club.
Pretty much. Well, because he was big. He was just something.
He is unable to find one. Jack of spades on the river. Just 8 high here. David is unable to win this pot without bluffing. Decides it's not worth a shot. Save the chips. Rankin will take down a nice pot there with the king 10.
Be on break, guys. Alright guys, when you come back, you're going to be moving to the outer table. Okay.
Alright, ladies and gents, looks like we are on break right away.
Yes, when we come back from the break,
Just going to be a 15-minute break. Go stretch your legs, grab some water, freshen up a little bit of air. And I'll be right here when you guys get back in 15 minutes as we see how all the players from our secondary table are faring. Talk to you all soon.
pretty sure it's just not drawing a hand.
Yeah.
Fine. C8 fold. C2 fold. C3 fold. C4 raise 12,000. C5 fold. C7 cool. Four. C7 check.
All right, ladies and gents, back in the action.
C4 bets 12,000. C7 fold.
If you're just tuning in, welcome to the Centurion here at the APLPT in Adelaide. We are live from SKYCITY Casino. 12 players remaining from 36 starting. 5 players will be paid in this edition of the Centurion, with the winner taking home a grand prize of $32,400.
Back corner. C2 fold. C3 fold. C4 fold. C5 raise 12,000. C7 fold. C8 cool.
Straight into the action here. Well, I'm going to pick up the nut flush draw here with his King 7 suited. Chris has caught the top pair.
C5 bets 10,000. C8 cool.
Off to a turn here. 53,000 chips in the middle. Queen of Hearts on the turn. 2 flush draws on board now. Chris's 3 kicker becoming less of an issue. We'll be chopping with any ace other than ace deuce, ace queen, or ace king. You know, I'm still with the nut flush draw here. He is just going to check it back on the turn here, however. Off to a river we go, and it is going to brick out. Ace 3 will hold for Chris.
Eight. C8 bets 8,000.
Small little block bet size here from Chris.
C5 cool.
To accomplish 2 things, you can get called very light when you give them such a good price, which is exactly what he pulls off here. Occasionally you can induce your opponent to get a little bit fancy and go for the raise here. Do need to be prepared to face that when you use block sizes like this. It's going to work out for Chris here.
Blues, please.
Takes down the pot, picks up a few extra chips on the end there as well.
7k. 7.
I get some yellows, please. 3.
What are you going to check?
2, 7.
I thought about it. I was actually going to take you back with you.
3, 7. Sorry.
Not a big hand, but it did not account for mine. A nut flush draw. Turn the pair.
Seat 3 raise 12,000. Seat 4 fold. Seat 5 fold. Seat 7 fold. Seat 8 fold.
I'm going to get amongst it here. King, Queen from under the gun. He's going to get it all the way through.
C4 fold. C5 raise 12,000.
Folding.
C7 is all in.
Matt going to pull the trigger here on the jam. Over Milam's open.
4.
Of just 8 big blinds and change. Certainly a hand that you can
50.
risk it all with.
Please have
Is
8.
in a bit of trouble here.
C5 fold. Further.
Gary has made the call for the 2 9s. Matt has found himself dominated here.
I'm feeling I'm winning. It's all good.
To reverse.
Nah, but I make it straight. 3, 4, 5.
Oh no.
Or the flushes. Yeah, that's true.
There's the 6.
Wow, he finds the 6.
Gary's copying it.
I get it back. I get the back. He gets the back door though. I feel it. Well done, guys. Thanks. Thanks. Been a pleasure.
That's a good show.
Thanks, Brendo.
Run out is clean. 6s are going to double up.
Under pairs 1. That's fine. Is that like the last 4 times under
Yeah, under pairs 1, I reckon.
Matt caught a pretty lucky card there.
So it's my kings as well.
Perfectly reasonable jam off just the
If I
8
make
big
it
blind
in
stack.
tomorrow, Brendo, I'll make sure I get a
Unfortunate
nice
to run into it.
steak for you,
Fortunate to
alright?
catch,
I'll get a
and
nice
he's
little
back
cut
in the
and
game.
polish. Me and Chris will get one together.
Oh, actually, if this goes to FT,
They'll play longer.
play the mini main though. I want to play the. I really want to bag the main.
You won't. You'll no chance.
I reckon
It
we'll get
closes
to
at 10. Yeah, but they won't. They
No,
won't stop.
it closes at like
They
10:45.
won't stop tonight.
No, they said it has to be all players to agree apparently. That's
So
what
what?
they said.
Keep playing.
To keep playing through final table, yeah. That's what I was told at least.
C5 fold.
I think they have discretion.
C6
I mean, I
raise
prefer to
12,000.
play it through. If
I'm
we
pretty
were
sure
to
you
feature
play the
tonight,
money
though.
most of the time in smaller ones.
Yeah.
They play. They play.
expect to go to the final table.
Yeah.
If we make it early,
Yeah.
C2 is all in.
Chips absolutely flying on this table. Our previous feature, everyone was pretty deep. We
Yeah,
took quite a
something
lot
like
of
that.
time. Just had
Give me a
one
second.
sub 20 big blind stack.
Smidgen more like 130.
And this table, see Armon with over 750k, 750,000, and David White over 500,000 himself. A lot of the chips just distributed between the two of them.
C3 call. C4 fold.
Gary's going to find himself in the situation that he just had Matt in. He's shoved his short stack with the threes. He's run straight into the tens of Armon.
The camera's on. You're covering it.
Matt really giving this some thought. He's getting a great price. I wouldn't blame him for flicking in the call here with the King 10 suited, but it is just a big percentage of his stack.
Unlucky, Armon. Honestly, Gary deserves a 3. He's been 2-outed like twice, man.
I actually deserve it. I literally deserve it.
Gary gonna have to catch a 3 to stay
Oh my
alive.
god, in the window.
Oh my god.
Oh, what is going on here? Gary just got 2-outed on the flop, and he has found a 2-outer himself. Run out is clean, and we are going to see back-to-back under pairs, winning the all-ins and doubling up.
That's
absurd.
Unfortunate beat for Armon, but he's still going to sit on over 700,000 chips at the conclusion
You
of
should
this
have
hand.
folded. You should have known you behind either. As an
Don't feel
underset,
too
or he has
sorry
those
for him
kings.
just
You know
yet.
what I mean? You
I was
can't
hoping
win.
he had kings.
Yeah, I know kings. Please have kings. I can't wait to get it in for like a 500k pot, and I'm like, please have kings, please have kings. When I got queens, I'm like, kings, please.
I've never seen anything like
We would have been an interesting. If he folds, we would have had an interesting.
yeah, just sets.
I had spades, so I would have flopped the flush draw. So you would have been sweating a bit more. Nice hand, mate. Nice hand.
C7 fold. C8 raise, 13,000.
Another pocket pair. It's time for Chris. After those 2 double ups, I think most of the table has enough chips that they don't need to be shoving super light at this point. And there's a lot of chips on this table. Another pocket pair here. Alarm this time. We've just seen the under pair win back to back. Gonna go for the hat trick here.
Why did you make a 13k?
What do you mean?
Charge me more extra, man.
Please don't.
C5 check.
No deuce on this flop. 7s are holding. Just the 1 overcard out there.
C8 check.
Pretty good flop as far as they go for pocket 7s.
C5 check. C8 check.
Free on the river. The flush does come in. No reason for either player to really put their opponent on a flush after this has been played so passively. Well, I can probably feel okay about his deuces here, but I don't think there's any reason to really bet them.
C5 bets 9,000.
We are going to bet. This is probably the size to go. Try and bet small enough we can get called by ace high. Chris, though, with the 7s, going to make the quick call.
Where was the 2,
He will be
man?
taking that one down.
Win or win.
That was a key mistake.
Who's this? Take the chips off of the reader. I think it's not reading the card. Thanks.
I stick with the 3s too. He flips the window card. I mean, you were like, oh.
He doesn't even know yet.
I know. I'm like, this is so fucked.
C8 raise.
Another pocket pair for Chris. Bit of an upgrade this time.
Now he's going to make it. He's consciously going to make it 13 for the rest of the night now.
Balance it.
C5 fold.
I don't know where this I'm going to have to make.
No resistance this time. Chris just going to take that one down. Now look at this chip count. Again, just one player below 20 big blinds.
Two fold. C3 raise 12,000. C4 raise 35,000. C5 fold.
Ace King suited versus Ace King suited here, and there's a lot of chips behind.
C8 fold.
Normally when we watch this hand on stream, we just see all the chips get in pre-flop, but with nearly 100 big blinds to start the hand, around 90 effective here. Money doesn't all have to get in pre here. If it does, we'll very likely just see this one chopped up.
C3 call.
Armon, gonna pump the brakes here, take a flop. See if anyone's able to find the free roll, and oh boy, Armon with the free roll here. Unfortunately for him, he didn't put in that 4-bet. What a dream spot he would be in here.
C4 check.
Check, check. Armon looking for a club. So they've got one chance left to hit it. However, if he decides to turn his hand into a semi-bluff here, he is only against ace high. Maybe he can fold his opponent off of the chop. Both players with some decent showdown value here. He's going to brick out 2 clubs and 2 diamonds. Not enough for anyone to scoop the thing. Probably no reason for David to bet either.
Free roll. Put a free roll. You both got a flush draw. Still one more card. You just call pre. Where's the club, bro?
Where's the double diamond? Double diamond club ball?
Yeah, that would be fucking hilarious. Remember that, guys? He flats ace king suited, right?
Happy.
Yeah. Fish, big fish.
And he raised to 12, not 13 with ace king. Remember that?
Yeah.
That's just Chris.
Apparently it's weird.
See, now he has to do it for the rest of the night.
Yeah, I'm doing it. That's pretty fun. That's what we wanted.
C3 fold. C4 fold. C5 fold. C7 raise.
16 bigs.
85,000.
Matt's going to go ahead and effectively jam the button here. He has a hand with good equity, but not so great playability. Just elects to keep it simple, play it as an all-in. He's going to take the pot down, get himself back to about 20 big blinds.
Hopefully my whole card didn't read that time. If you know what I mean. You know what I mean. 50 bucks each time, you know the deal. I'm looking straight at you.
Is no one's commentating this, right?
Oh, I think there's a guy.
Oh, there he is.
I think Corey's doing it.
Oh, shit. What the fuck?
You're fucked. We're
I
fucked.
need to listen to this. I want to listen to this. I want to see how they say it. I'm on just flats ace king suited.
You haven't played a hand?
No, I played a couple of hands.
Oh, did you? Oh, yeah, I wasn't paying attention.
C4 fold.
I lost a couple hands actually.
C5 fold.
Both to Chris
Oh, yeah, that's
actually.
C6 fold. I mean 7. C8 fold. C2 call.
Pretty uneventful hand this so far. Is going to get around to the blinds. 5-4 offsuit. Armon might pounce on this limp.
21. C3 raise 21,000.
His hand's weak enough that it's not that big of a deal
C2's all around.
if this bluff fails and you get jammed on. Yeah, exactly. It's a real shame when you make a play like this with something like
Actually, you didn't think it was in the
a suited
arsenal,
connector.
but it is.
You get jammed on and it's a waste of a hand. With a hand like 5-4 offsuit, take a stab.
Get him.
If it doesn't work, it's no
Tell him his
biggie.
boss.
Nice move there from Gary.
You called me, remember? You could have folded.
Maybe in another way.
Better be lucky than good, mate. And I'm neither, so.
C5 fold. C7 fold. C8 fold. C2 fold. C3 fold.
Easy one for David. Walk with the King 5. Down to 11 players now, just 2 spots away from our final table. First step is, of course, secure that FT. However,
Save money, maybe.
it'll only be our top 5 players getting paid tonight.
I think if you want, they will keep going.
Wait until
Finish it.
No, not fitting.
Now, mid cash here in the Centurion. Just shy of 6,500. Monstrous min cash.
C7 fold.
Oh, then you can so much.
C8 fold.
I think it's still money for us if I had to. If I was a wagering man, I'd say
I'd be
till money.
happy till money would be good.
And then at least if you come back tomorrow, you're worth something. Sometimes it can fall on bubble depending on how long it takes, but we can keep going.
Let's say Tilton coming in 3 times and getting that money.
I've done the same.
Yeah, see? Not quite sure, man.
But you said you turned it down.
I didn't turn
You lied to me.
I lied to you.
C3 raise 33,000. C4 fold. C5 fold.
Can't fault King High though for 8k on the river.
I just didn't want you to lie.
Gary gonna go for it again. Armon getting punished here. Gary knows his customer. He knows Armon's aggressive. Knows he's gonna make some moves.
Look at that forehead.
He's ready to pounce.
Yep. Who's gonna go? Still up.
Come on, he's not planning his stuff.
If I'm at a king, I'm not.
I tend to pair, see? He's such a clown. What do you do if I just go all in on the river?
Me? I probably broke. What do you mean? That was the play, man. You had the play in your head.
I was thinking about it, man.
Just fucking shit your ass there.
Yeah, they hit this shit. How much is that?
112, brother, including 106 with the. Mink, yeah.
Well timed walk for Matt there. Table short stack currently. On 20 big blinds, so he's far from the desperation zone, but I'm sure he'll take the walk.
Raise 12,000.
On pocket nines now, has been very active. Judging by the way that
4 fold. 6
Gary's
5
been looking
fold.
to
6 7 fold.
pounce on him, I imagine his image is probably
6 8 call.
that he is pretty aggressive, pretty loose.
Heads up.
Chris just going to defend in the big blind with the ace-10. Off to a flop here.
Check. 6 8 check.
Certainly a big blind kind of flop. On with the vulnerable overpair here.
6 3 check. Check round.
He is going to check this one back. Risky with the 2 9s. Not a lot of turn cards you really want to see with the 9s.
6 8 check.
Should be feeling pretty safe after being checked to twice. In fact, Amon might actually be up against the hand that can call him too. Ace high, has the gut shot. Decent kicker, which may be a factor if Chris was up against another ace high. That 10 would certainly help his chances in taking this pot down.
Seat 8 call. Heads up.
Pretty small bet from Amon on the turn here. King on the river.
Seat 8 check.
I'm just trying to work out how much value are these 9s worth.
Seat 3 bet. 40,000.
It's a really clever bet here from Amon. It's basically representing that he has a king. That's the story that he's saying. He's using such a large size that he's basically saying that he has a king or nothing. This is designed to try and get hero called by exactly the kind of hand that Chris has. Something like an ace high, something like a weak pair. Very clever bet here from Amon. And it may just get paid. Chris really giving this some thought. I wouldn't blame him for thinking that he could be good here. Long tank with just ace high.
Seat 8 fold.
Chris does find the fold. Nice move by Amon there, sizing up, making it look polarized. Trying to juice that hero call. Came very close, squeezing an extra pot size bet out of his opponent there, but Chris finds the fold, preserves the stack.
Well, I'm on the stars now. You don't have to wait that long. Just go all in on the turn.
Seat 4 fold.
Down to 10 players now. Final table bubble.
7 4 6 8
One player remaining in this tournament will not participate in our Centurion final table. Ladies, gents, there's plenty of you watching. We're very grateful for you all for tuning in. I would love to know who you guys are cheering for. Let us know in the comments.
Folds H9 suited.
Any questions you may have, drop them in there as well. I'll do my best to answer them for you.
Oh, there was no 10s left, bro.
I didn't want to say it. I was like, I'll leave hope for you, but I'm drawing thin. Obviously, I didn't know the other way.
Six, 7 fold. 6, 8 fold. 6, 3 fold. 6, 7. Four, 8, 22,000. 3 fold.
He's got 26%.
On tries to sneak into a cheap flop there. He will be denied.
He realised that. He realised that 26%, man.
Not a bank fee. Six, 7 fold. 6, 8 fold. 6, 3 fold.
Blind versus blind action here. Along with a very unimpressive hand in No Limit Hold'em.
4, 8, 21.
Fantastic hand in blackjack.
5 fold.
Not going to be worth 21,000. David will take that one down.
Dude, I had to do that last night, bro. I regged onto the PLO final table, right? And then they were like, "Oh, hold on, we're taking a break. We're taking a photo." And then I bust 3 hands.
Big blind, please.
So you reached onto the...
I regged onto the final table.
So, big blind, please.
And they took a photo.
Big blind, please.
It's so retarded.
Hold on. I got 3 cards.
Sorry, Mr. Reshuffle. Sorry.
I had an ace or something.
Look at this classic hand. Pocket
Check, huh?
Where's his pocket deuce?
Where's the deuce, man?
Come on, trying to value that fucking deuce.
Would you have bet that river?
C2 8 twice, 13,000.
A little bit of a freeze there. I think we're back in business now.
6, 3 fold.
Kings here for Chris. David, a very speculative hand on the button here, but he does have the stack to speculate with.
Oh, wait, one off the phone.
Looks like Millarm's going to make a tight fold with that 9-7 suited. Over to Matt now, Jack 8 off suit. He is going to defend as well.
3 players.
Getting a good price. It's a hand that can get you into trouble multi-way. This is a pretty good example of a flop that can get you into trouble. Matt with a no good top pair. Pretty clean looking flop for Chris.
C2 8, bet 15,000. C2 4 fold.
Small bet here from Chris. And Matt is in trouble. He's going to get snapped. There's a 78% chance that we are about to lock up our Centurion final table here. Matt going to have to catch a jack or an 8. Turn Turners no help, and the river is clean. Kings will hold for Chris.
No, I don't know why I'm blind.
And ladies and gents, we are down to 9 players.
Too good, mate. Too good.
Final table.
Somehow.
We are going to jump straight onto a break here while we do set the final table. We are going to play at least some of the FTs tonight. A little bit early to be going to bed just yet.
Please stop.
It is going to be about a half-hour break. I'm going to let these guys grab something to eat, catch their breath, get the photo done, and all the bits and pieces that come along with it, and then we'll be back. Just don't go too far, guys. See you in about a half hour.
Because he starts to...
Can I get your seat, please?